Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Book Fuel, the space where we dive into timeless books and draw out the kind of wisdom that helps us grow, evolve, and reconnect with our truest selves. Have you ever asked yourself, what is the purpose of my life? Or quietly wondered, why am I even here? Maybe you've done all the things you were supposed to, gone to school, graduated, found a job, started paying off loans, dreaming of buying a car or a house. And yet, something inside you still feels hollow, like life is repeating itself in the same gray loop, directionless, uninspired, and painfully dull. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know, you're not alone. In the United States, nearly 45% of college students suffer from serious symptoms of depression. Psychologists have even named this strange phase of life emerging adulthood, a blurry in-between where many drift aimlessly, no longer adolescence, but not yet grounded in true adulthood. It's a quiet kind of crisis, and it's more common than we think. Renowned Stanford professor and educational psychologist William Damon, one of the world's leading voices on human development, makes a striking observation. Many young people today are not lacking talent or opportunity. They're simply lacking a clear sense of purpose. And when we drift without purpose, life can start to feel painfully hollow. So the real question becomes, how do we build a meaningful goal? One that pulls us out of the gray, gives shape to our days, and helps us step into a life that feels truly worth living. That's exactly what we'll explore today through a powerful and eye-opening book, The Path to Purpose: How Young People Find Their Calling in Life, written by Professor William Damon of Stanford University, named one of the top 50 most influential psychologists in the world. My hope is that this reflection becomes more than just a video for you. I hope it becomes a gentle guide, one that helps you find your footing, walk toward your calling, and create a life rich in meaning, direction, and deep joy. Let's begin. In his research, Professor Damon identified four common types of young people when it comes to purpose, and each one reveals a different relationship we might have with direction, meaning, and drive. 1. The disengaged. These are the ones who prioritize comfort over clarity. They don't hold any long-term vision or meaningful goals, only the desire to feel good in the moment. When interviewed, many said they just wanted to enjoy life and have fun. There's nothing wrong with pleasure, but when it becomes the only thing we seek, we risk waking up one day feeling lost, disconnected, and unfulfilled. About 25% of young people fall into this category. Their lives often revolve around temporary highs, entertainment, consumption, distractions, but leave behind a lingering emptiness. 2. The dreamers. Dreamers are full of bold visions and big ideas, but lack the follow-through. They often talk about wanting to be famous, successful, or admired, but they don't take real steps to make those dreams happen. They live in a space of imagination, not commitment. And while imagination is a beautiful spark, without action, it flickers out. This group also represents about 25% of youth. 3. The dabblers. This group is highly driven, but for the wrong reasons. They chase goals intensely, but those goals are often rooted in pride, ego, or external validation. They want to climb the ladder, earn the degree, get the title, but once they reach the top, many of them feel disillusioned because the ladder they climbed wasn't even leaning on the right wall. And while they may look successful from the outside, inside many feel tired, uninspired, or emotionally disconnected from their work. Roughly 30% of young people fall into this group. 4. The purposeful. This is the rarest group. Only about 20% of youth fall here. But they're the ones who have discovered a clear, meaningful direction in life. Their goals are rooted in personal values. They're not necessarily chasing prestige or status. They're building something they believe in. They see their work as meaningful not just to themselves, but to others. And because of that, they're often more resilient, more fulfilled, and more joyful along the way. Nearly 80% of young people are living in a state of drift. Most fall into one of two camps. Either they have no clear goal, or they're chasing too many goals that lead nowhere. What about you? Are you wandering without direction, or sprinting toward things that don't really light you up? And perhaps the deeper question is this: If you're not part of the 20% who live with purpose, if you feel lost, empty, or quietly disconnected, then how do you begin to find a goal that truly means something? In the next part of our journey through the path to purpose, we'll explore exactly what those goals look like and how to start discovering your own. So what is a well-directed goal? Most people, when setting goals, are simply trying to answer one of two questions. What do I need to achieve? Or who do I want to become? But more often than not, these questions orbit around external success, personal status, material gain, or societal approval. And the brain, it naturally favors what's concrete, measurable milestones, quantifiable outcomes. How many words do I need to memorize to master a new language? What certificate do I need to land my dream job? By 25, how much money should I have saved? By 30, should I already own a house? When your goals are shaped entirely by numbers, timelines, and visible benchmarks, it can feel like you're making progress, like you're moving toward a life of success, competence, and prestige. But here's the deeper truth. A checklist is not a compass. Targets are not the same as purpose. Just because something is measurable doesn't mean it's meaningful. A well-directed goal, the kind that fuels a resilient, passionate, deeply fulfilling life, has to be bigger, bolder, more rooted. Just like in finite and infinite games, the book reminds us, if a person lives only to achieve results, accolades, or recognition, they'll remain trapped, looping endlessly through a life scripted by one achievement after another. A life confined by finish lines, and eventually that pursuit becomes a prison. That's why the author makes this clear. A true goal, one that's grounded, steady, and meaningful, must begin with an inner calling. That calling is your compass. It comes before any goal is set, because without the right direction, your goals, no matter how ambitious, can leave you restless, scattered, and empty. In the end, it all circles back to that quiet ache inside, that feeling of drifting. A goal that rises from your inner calling is one where what you do feels meaningful to you and also meaningful to the world around you. It's where your personal vision meets the greater social purpose. The great psychologist Viktor Frankl once wrote, "You must align your personal goals with the needs of the world." That alignment, that harmony, is what gives your life real purpose. And no, it doesn't mean you have to save the world or launch a revolution. Purpose doesn't always wear a cape. It can show up quietly in the most ordinary of places. The author shares a story of a small-town restaurant. The food wasn't spectacular, but there was something else, something special. The owner had made it his mission to only hire local youth, many of whom were struggling or seen as troublemakers. But over time, they began to change. They softened. They learned how to care for others and how to show up. When asked why he did it, the owner simply said, "Our mission is to feed hungry people and send them away with joy." He wasn't optimizing for profits or tips or speed. He was serving something far more nourishing. If the work you do helps someone else, if it leaves even one person a little better, then you're no longer drifting. You've answered the call. You've found a direction worth walking toward, and that, quietly, deeply, is what it means to live with purpose. We need to remember something vital. A goal that truly answers your inner calling must satisfy three conditions: ability, meaning, and joy. Together, these form the foundation of your purpose. Let's start with ability. You need to realistically assess your own skills. Ask yourself honestly, am I capable of doing this well? Then comes meaning. Does what I'm capable of help solve a real problem in someone else's life? Does it matter to others, not just to me? And finally, joy. Do I feel genuine joy when I use my abilities in this way? If you take these three ideas, ability, meaning, and joy, and draw three circles, the place where they all overlap, that's where you'll find your calling. That's where mission, direction, and fulfillment begin to flow, both in your work and your life. When a personal goal aligns with a social purpose, it gives you three powerful gifts: strength, sustainability, and flow. At that point, your goal isn't something you force yourself to chase. It becomes a natural current you choose to swim in. Your energy becomes effortless. Your focus becomes fluid. And joy is no longer a destination, it's the way you travel. So how do you begin walking toward a purpose like that? The author lays out 12 powerful steps to help you discover and pursue your true direction. Step 1. Have open, enlightening conversations with people outside your family and close circle. Let new voices and perspectives crack open new questions inside you. Step 2. Observe how people with purpose work. Watch how they carry themselves, how they give, how they create. Step 3. Reach your first moment of clarity. Ask yourself, what is one thing in this world that desperately needs to be healed or improved? Step 4. Then comes your second moment of clarity. What can I do to help? What do I have that could move the needle, even just a little? This is the moment when you meet your own strength, maybe for the first time. Step 5. Define your direction. Start taking small, meaningful actions. Step 6. Invite support from your family. Let them in. Let them see what you're building. Step 7. Keep moving, but do it creatively. Don't just push harder. Influence, adapt, and elevate how you pursue your goal. Step 8. Learn the skills you need to go further. Let your purpose stretch you into a better version of yourself. Step 9. Strengthen your ability to take action. Consistently. Turn vision into movement. Step 10. Nurture optimism and confidence. Because belief isn't just a mindset, it's a survival tool. Step 11. Commit deeply and for the long haul. Purpose isn't a sprint, it's a lifelong rhythm. Step 12. Let everything you've learned, every skill, every character trait you've sharpened, spill over into every other area of your life. And that's it. That's how someone begins with a quiet whisper in their heart and ends up walking a strong, steady path. A path filled with purpose. A path that feels like joy and gives something real back to the world. A sustainable goal also requires a sustainable mindset. The journey toward your dreams doesn't have to feel like a constant struggle, but if your heart isn't anchored in purity and clarity, then no matter how hard you try, your dreams will always feel just out of reach. The first mindset you need when building your life's direction is to overcome the culture of instant gratification. Today's world glorifies quick results. And honestly, it's both powerful and frightening. Everywhere you look, people are asking, how much do I need to earn to achieve financial freedom? From generation to generation, material values have shifted. But now, among young people especially, financial freedom has become the ultimate goal. Of course, there's nothing wrong with wanting financial freedom. Everyone deserves the right to pursue it, but when an entire society begins to place material gain above all else, that's when deeper problems begin to grow. If you ever find yourself trapped in an internal conflict, working hard to chase values that don't truly resonate with you, pause, listen to the quieter voice within you, and reignite the fire that is truly your own. In truth, this book isn't just for teenagers. It's for anyone ready to confront themselves, to reconnect with who they really are inside. And maybe, just maybe, you can begin shaping the goal of your life, starting today. No matter what age you are, today is still the youngest day of the rest of your life. The advice shared in this book is not just for the young, it's for all of us. Every single one of us right now has the chance to write a new chapter in our lives. Thank you so much for being here. If you found value in this video, please share it with someone who might need it. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our new videos every week. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.